intend to slowly extend it to environmental and to agriculture and also families. So what we intend to do is to build a fully connected, intelligent world with Huawei.
Saya hari-hari mesti mau makan pedas.
Les épices donnent un autre niveau de complexité au produit.
Chili adalah nyawa saya.
I've been to many places in the world, but the spices of Malaysia are the best.
ஒரு நல்ல சில்லி காரமாக இருக்க வேண்டும்.
我妈妈做的辣椒酱是全世界最好吃的辣椒酱。
Good chili or bad chili, I call the shots. Selecting the right chili is essential to prepare authentic Malaysian cuisine. Hexa has been pursuing the most delicious chili flavors since 2007. Making spices require a lot of good attention and details, just like making good coffee. There are hundreds of different kinds of chili in the world and countless recipes. My desire to make the best Malaysian tasting cuisine has brought me to many places. Quality of the ingredients determines how good the food can be. Only chilies that meets our requirement of shape, brightness, color, and gloss is eligible to be made into spices. We use an extremely accurate AI-powered selection process to identify the best chilies quickly and efficiently. When we set a goal, we intend to complete it. We take pride in assembling the necessary talents and tools. That's why we partner with Huawei in our mission to produce the best spices. Malaysians say chili is a meal. People don't simply just eat chili, they taste the struggle. They taste love. That tastes home. What makes a good chili? The best way to answer this question is to never stop seeking for a better answer. We have a mission to link traditions with the flavors in people's memories. Always.
Efficiency, cost, productivity. Business as usual has always been about turning a profit. If you stop to think about it, what more is there? The universe, nature, life, civilization as we know it is about the search for something greater than ourselves. Huawei Cloud is innovating technologies to make the world more inclusive. The cloud, AI, 5G are building a fully connected, intelligent world. They do more than drive digital transformation. It's a new paradigm for innovation. Imagine, if you can, what amazing secrets await when we unlock the secrets of the universe. What cosmic answers will we learn? AI can help preserve in the rainforest, by identifying the sounds of gunshots or the sounds of illegal logging, protecting the most precious sounds, birds and trees, for generations to come. In cities around the world, we can collect traffic data and analyze it to improve transportation and bring order to a chaotic world. Even reporting the weather can be improved with AI. With more accurate forecasts and timely alerts, we'll travel safer and get home to our loved ones. Also, so many delicious flavors, chili, herbs, and spices automatically selected to improve flavor, quality, and nutrition. Delightful flavor explosions to dazzle our taste buds. A cloud for everyone, unleashing the power of innovation, making every day better. A cloud for pervasive intelligence and a better future. Huawei Cloud. Grow with intelligence.
Hexa Food has been manufacturing herbs, spices, seasonings products since the year 2007. In order to keep up with the digitalization and to remain competitive, we have been doing a lot of digital transformation in our company. We have set up our online concept store and we apply IoT in our manufacturing process. We have also won second place in the SME Corp Malaysia Enterprise 50 Award. AI will assist human labor in a lot of areas in the production. So by helping people to make better decisions, efficiency and productivity is greatly improved. For example, in our factory, food safety and food quality is greatly enhanced because of AI. The chili that we use for raw material differs from batch to batch and from time to time. Because of this, our workers spend a lot of time trying to differentiate between the good and bad chilies, which affects our productivity. Our IoT team builds and trains a chili identification model on Huawei Cloud Model Arts. With the help of Model Arts, it is able to differentiate between good and bad chilies and reject the bad chilies, which saves us a lot of time.
We are really satisfied and appreciate the support from Huawei Model Arts. From the Huawei Cloud technology, we hope that it can extend to the edge because it's really giving me the perceptions of there's a platform that's really user-friendly. It's a one-stop solution for us. I just need to log on to the platform, follow the step-by-step guidance, and the Model Arts AI engine will do the work for me. The best part is, it doesn't limit to this. It's fully customizable to different level of AI technologies. With this, it's fully compatible with multiple framework and platform, which allow us to develop our IoT solutions to suit different market needs. We are really satisfied and appreciate the support from Huawei Model Arts. From the Cloud Model Arts, we are looking forward to extend to edge computing. With the Atlas technology from Huawei, we hope that can assist us to improve our productivity by 40 to 50% and also to reduce the rejection rates.
Huawei Cloud remain committed to drive innovations by building a cloud platform tailored the future needs, which is now trusted by more than 1 million enterprise users and developers. They are benefiting from the new class of connected and intelligent application as a service. In addition, Huawei Cloud Partners Network Program has collaborated with more than 7,000 partners over 170 plus countries, creating 180 plus services and solutions on Huawei Cloud by providing business, technicals, marketing, and go-to-market support to the partners. Huawei Cloud will continue to work with the partners to create an open and collaborative ecosystem of features. So Huawei looking forward to collaborate and work with more enterprise and business in the market in order to duplicate more seamless Hexa likes of customers in achieving intelligent upgrades.
Collaborating with Huawei enables us to take the first step into the world of AI, which promises possibilities and ideas fruition. We are applying AI in our manufacturing process, and we plan to slowly extend it to environmental and to agriculture and also families. So what we intend to do is to build a fully connected, intelligent world with Huawei.
Saya hari-hari mesti mau makan pedas.
Les épices donnent un autre niveau de complexité au produit.
Chili adalah nyawa saya.
I've been to many places in the world, but the spices of Malaysia are the best.
ஒரு நல்ல சில்லி காரமாக இருக்க வேண்டும்.
我妈妈做的辣椒酱是全世界最好吃的辣椒酱。
Good chili or bad chili, I call the shots. Selecting the right chili is essential to prepare authentic Malaysian cuisine. Hexa has been pursuing the most delicious chili flavors since 2007. Making spices require a lot of good attention and details, just like making good coffee. There are hundreds of different kinds of chili in the world and countless recipes. My desire to make the best Malaysian tasting cuisine has brought me to many places. Quality of the ingredients determines how good the food can be. Only chilies that meets our requirement of shape, brightness, color, and gloss is eligible to be made into spices. We use an extremely accurate AI-powered selection process to identify the best chilies quickly and efficiently. When we set a goal, we intend to complete it. We take pride in assembling the necessary talents and tools. That's why we partner with Huawei in our mission to produce the best spices. Malaysians say chili is a meal. People don't simply just eat chili, they taste the struggle. They taste love. That tastes home. What makes a good chili? The best way to answer this question is to never stop seeking for a better answer. We have a mission to link traditions with the flavors in people's memories. Always.
Efficiency, cost, productivity. Business as usual has always been about turning a profit. If you stop to think about it, what more is there? The universe, nature, life, civilization as we know it is about the search for something greater than ourselves. Huawei Cloud is innovating technologies to make the world more inclusive. The cloud, AI, 5G are building a fully connected, intelligent world. They do more than drive digital transformation. It's a new paradigm for innovation. Imagine, if you can, what amazing secrets await when we unlock the secrets of the universe. What cosmic answers will we learn? AI can help preserve in the rainforest by identifying the sounds of gunshots or the sounds of illegal logging, protecting the most precious sounds, birds and trees, for generations to come. In cities around the world, we can collect traffic data and analyze it to improve transportation and bring order to a chaotic world. Even reporting the weather can be improved with AI. With more accurate forecasts and timely alerts, we'll travel safer and get home to our loved ones. Also, so many delicious flavors, chili, herbs, and spices automatically selected to improve flavor, quality, and nutrition. Delightful flavor explosions to dazzle our taste buds. A cloud for everyone, unleashing the power of innovation, making every day better. A cloud for pervasive intelligence and a better future. Huawei Cloud. Grow with intelligence.
Hexa Food has been manufacturing herbs, spices, seasonings products since the year 2007. In order to keep up with the digitalization and to remain competitive, we have been doing a lot of digital transformation in our company. We have set up our online concept store and we apply IoT in our manufacturing process. We have also won second place in the SME Corp Malaysia Enterprise 50 Award. AI will assist human labor in a lot of areas in the production. So by helping people to make better decisions, efficiency and productivity is greatly improved. For example, in our factory, food safety and food quality is greatly enhanced because of AI. The chili that we use for raw material differs from batch to batch and from time to time. Because of this, our workers spend a lot of time trying to differentiate between the good and bad chilies, which affects our productivity. Our IoT team builds and trains a chili identification model on Huawei Cloud Model Arts. With the help of Model Arts, it is able to differentiate between good and bad chilies and reject the bad chilies, which saves us a lot of time.
We are really satisfied and appreciate the support from Huawei Model Arts. From the Huawei Cloud technology, we hope that it can extend to the edge because it's really giving me the perceptions of there's a platform that's really user-friendly. It's a one-stop solution for us. I just need to log on to the platform, follow the step-by-step guidance, and the Model Arts AI engine will do the work for me. The best part is, it doesn't limit to this. It's fully customizable to different level of AI technologies. With this, it's fully compatible with multiple framework and platform, which allow us to develop our IoT solutions to suit different market needs. We are really satisfied and appreciate the support from Huawei Model Arts. From the Cloud Model Arts, we are looking forward to extend to edge computing. With the Atlas technology from Huawei, we hope that can assist us to improve our productivity by 40 to 50% and also to reduce the rejection rates.
Huawei Cloud remains committed to drive innovations by building a cloud platform tailored the future needs, which is now trusted by more than 1 million enterprise users and developers. They are benefiting from the new class of connected and intelligent application as a service. In addition, Huawei Cloud Partners Network Program has collaborated with more than 7,000 partners over 170 plus countries, creating 180 plus services and solutions on Huawei Cloud by providing business, technical, marketing, and go-to-market support to the partners. Huawei Cloud will continue to work with the partners to create an open and collaborative ecosystem in the future. So Huawei looking forward to collaborate and work with more enterprise and business in the market in order to duplicate more seamless Hexa likes of customers in achieving intelligent upgrades.
Collaborating with Huawei enables us to take the first step into the world of AI, which promises possibilities and ideas fruition. We are applying AI in our manufacturing process, and we plan to slowly extend it to environmental and to agriculture and also families. So what we intend to do is to build a fully connected, intelligent world with Huawei.
Saya hari-hari mesti mau makan pedas.
Les épices donnent un autre niveau de complexité au produit.
Cili adalah nyawa saya.
I've been to many places in the world, but the spices of Malaysia are the best.
ஒரு நல்ல சில்லி காரமாக இருக்க வேண்டும்.
我妈妈做的辣椒酱是全世界最好吃的辣椒酱。
Good chili or bad chili, I call the shots. Selecting the right chili is essential to prepare authentic Malaysian cuisine. Hexa has been pursuing the most delicious chili flavors since 2007. Making spices require a lot of good attention and details, just like making good coffee. There are hundreds of different kinds of chili in the world and countless recipes. My desire to make the best Malaysian tasting cuisine has brought me to many places. Quality of the ingredients determines how good the food can be. Only chilies that meets our requirement of shape, brightness, color, and gloss is eligible to be made into spices. We use an extremely accurate AI-powered selection process to identify the best chilies quickly and efficiently. When we set a goal, we intend to complete it. We take pride in assembling the necessary talents and tools. That's why we partner with Huawei in our mission to produce the best spices. Malaysians say chili is a meal. People don't simply just eat chili, they taste the struggle. They taste love. That tastes home. What makes a good chili? The best way to answer this question is to never stop seeking for a better answer. We have a mission to link traditions with the flavors in people's memories. Always.
efficiency, cost, productivity. Business as usual has always been about turning a profit. If you stop to think about it, what more is there? The universe, nature, life, civilization as we know it is about the search for something greater than ourselves. Huawei Cloud is innovating technologies to make the world more inclusive. The cloud, AI, 5G are building a fully connected, intelligent world. They do more than drive digital transformation. It's a new paradigm for innovation. Imagine, if you can, what amazing secrets await when we unlock the secrets of the universe. What cosmic answers will we learn? AI can help preserve in the rainforest by identifying the sounds of gunshots or the sounds of illegal logging, protecting the most precious sounds, birds and trees, for generations to come. In cities around the world, we can collect traffic data and analyze it to improve transportation and bring order to a chaotic world. Even reporting the weather can be improved with AI. With more accurate forecasts and timely alerts, we'll travel safer and get home to our loved ones. Also, so many delicious flavors, chili, herbs, and spices automatically selected to improve flavor, quality, and nutrition. Delightful flavor explosions to dazzle our taste buds. A cloud for everyone, unleashing the power of innovation, making every day better. A cloud for pervasive intelligence and a better future. Huawei Cloud. Grow with intelligence.
Hexa Food has been manufacturing herbs, spices, seasonings products since the year
morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our official launch event of Huawei Spark Malaysia. I'm Consin from Huawei. Thank you for joining our online session today. We are very honored to have Dato' Ng Wan Peng and Michael Yuan from Huawei. So next to me is Mr. Michael. He is the CEO of Huawei Malaysia.
Hi, morning.
Next to Michael is Dato' Ng Wan Peng. She's the COO of MDEC.
Good morning.
Let us all welcome Michael, the CEO of Huawei Malaysia, to deliver his speech.
A very good morning to Dato' Ng Wan Peng, COO of MDEC, Mohammed Rajab Sulaiman, General Manager, Data Center, Cloud, and Internet TM1, and all those who are watching this live stream. I'm so happy to be here with you at this inaugural launch of the Huawei Spark Malaysia program. I hope that you and your families are staying safe and healthy. I would like to first of all express my gratitude to the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC, as well as TM1, for being alongside us to help support Malaysia's tech business. COVID-19 has forced us all to go through some challenging times, but I believe we will all emerge from this stronger, better, and more resilient. One of the things the pandemic has brought to light is the urgency to accelerate digital transformation across all sectors and industries. We need to digitalize our business and our lives in order to adapt to the new norm that we now live in. We need to digitalize in order to rebuild the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, YB Kari Jamaluddin, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, recently said that Malaysia needs to consider itself a startup nation. He said the innovative digital solutions created by startups that can be adopted by local business will drive nationwide digitalization and in turn help boost the economy. As a global technology leader, Huawei believes that it is our responsibility to lend our expertise and resources to nurture this business and help them grow. But we cannot do this alone. That's what Huawei Spark Malaysia is all about. We are teaming up with other global tech leaders and industry experts to offer startups as well as business guidance and mentoring, access to global platforms for strategic partnerships, meaningful network opportunities, visibility for startups, products, and solutions, and finance support to help startups and business build their technology stacks. Huawei Spark is a deep tech hybrid accelerator program founded by the Huawei Cloud and AI Business Group, with the purpose of incubating business and accelerating their growth. And we are proud to have this opportunity to bring it to Malaysia. Together with MDEC, through its Global Acceleration and Innovation Network program, GAIN, and powered by TM1's Alpha Edge, we will leverage our shared knowledge and skills, leaning on Huawei's technological expertise to support business and build in the areas of AI, IoT, 5G, edge computing, and software as a services. We hope to nurture output in the areas of e-commerce, fintech, healthcare, manufacturing, and smart cities. Ladies and gentlemen, innovation is borderless, and when we collaborate, we flourish. Therefore, I would like to say thank you to MDEC and TM1 for putting your trust in Huawei and in this collaboration, as well to the Soft Space and Hexa Food for coming on board this launch event to share your insight. Together, I'm certain we will be able to create conducive space for business to grow, build a healthy ecosystem where they can thrive, and through innovative solutions, drive digital transformation across the country to firmly position Malaysia at the heart of digital ASEAN. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael, for sharing the vision and Huawei's effort in positioning Malaysia as the heart of digital ASEAN. Next, let us welcome Dato' Ng Wan Peng, the COO of MDEC, to deliver her speech.
Thank you, Consin. A very good morning to Michael Yuan Ming, the CEO of Huawei Malaysia, Encik Muhammad Rezab Sulaiman, General Manager of Data Center, Cloud and Internet TM1, and everyone who is with us this morning. First and foremost, I would like to express my warmest gratitude to the Huawei Spark team for having MDEC here today. We are heartened that MDEC and Huawei are working together, collaborating with MDEC's GAIN program to help propel Malaysia's deep tech innovations in the country. MDEC as an agency tasked to lead Malaysia's digital economy forward. We will continue to pave the way for the nation to thrive in the fourth industrial revolution or fourth IR era by fostering digitally skilled Malaysian talents, forging digitally powered businesses, and fueling digital sector investment. At MDEC, we believe that Malaysia is primed to be the heart of digital ASEAN and also to be an exemplary nation that will thrive through this future-ready workforce, border-spanning innovations, and investor-friendly environment. The GAIN program is among the many growth-spurring initiatives that MDEC has initiated. It was launched in the year 2017 to provide strategic interventions for our local tech companies to do well on the global stage. And the GAIN program is grounded on four main pillars, namely the Gateway, Amplify, Invest, and Nurture. Through GAIN, we have formed partnerships with over 200 parties globally and have facilitated over 800 business matching opportunities for our portfolio companies. And this has resulted in more than $1 billion in digital export revenue by Malaysian-based companies. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to roll on, we see many fundamental changes underway across different industries. And the year 2020 has brought a hunger for digitalization as we have never seen before. Like many people say, there's something that is going to happen in 5 years or collapse in 6 months. So that is what has changed. The waves of digital innovation are accelerating, reaching skills, and are faster and larger than ever before. This has created new opportunities for those who can move quickly to take advantage of this disruption. As a result, there's a rise in demand for digital solutions and deep tech innovations, and the Huawei Spark program is very timely. It will provide local tech companies with the opportunity to gain financial support, test their go-to-market strategies, and also connect with mentors, amongst others. The Huawei Spark program will help accelerate the growth of participating tech companies in Malaysia by enabling them to gain access to Huawei's ecosystems of resources. The three-tier sell-to, sell-with, and sell-through model, also named as Sparkfire, provides an opportunity for companies to be business partners of Huawei and its wide-ranging enterprise client portfolio globally. This program will also ensure participating companies grow healthier and faster with proper mentoring and support while staying ahead of the digital competition. MDEC continue to support and partner in programs like Huawei Spark Malaysia that will help shape our digital tech ecosystem and reinforces Malaysia's goal to be the regional powerhouse for global tech companies. We'd also like to encourage our local startups and tech companies to participate in more events like this and play a defining role in developing tech solutions that will solve some of the global challenges that exist today. On that note, I would like to wish all participating companies good luck in your journey. We at MDEC will continue to support you towards greater success. Once again, thank you, Huawei, for your support.
Thank you, Dato' Wan Peng, for your inspiring speech and the support to develop Malaysia's digital tech ecosystem. Next, let's find out more about Huawei Spark Malaysia from our specialists. Welcome, Mr. Ryan Chan, the Head of Business Development, Global Growth Acceleration Division, MDEC, and Mr. Liu, who joined us from Singapore office. He is the Chief Digital Officer of Huawei Cloud and AI APAC.
Good morning, everybody. So it's really pleasant to be in this forum and share the prospect of how Huawei can plug ourselves into the digital ASEAN initiative of MDEC. So today I'd like to share a few things in collaboration with Ryan, predominantly focused on what is a Huawei Spark and how you can benefit, you meaning the startups and tech firms, can benefit from this program. So without further ado, I'd like to, can you please put on the deck on the screen? Thank you. If you can move on to the next slide. So I think just echo what Michael and Mr. Datao just mentioned. I think there's two takeaways. One is the nature of a collaboration, which is one of the founding principles of Huawei's thing is acceleration of digital, explaining the reason why we're launching Huawei Spark. And if you're launching a regional and global initiative, there's a many local consideration that you need to think of in order to execute it well, which is why we really want to collaborate and are fortunate to have this collaboration with MDEC and the game program. So with that, I will pass on to Ryan to introduce the game program.
Thanks, Leo, and thanks to the wonders of technology, we're able to do this today. You're in Singapore, you're like a floating head on my screen right now, and I'm here in Kuala Lumpur, and we're able to do this and streaming this to an audience via the internet, accessing it via various channels and networks. So like what Michael and Dato' Ng mentioned just now in their opening, we're big on ecosystems and partnerships, and one of the key things that we look at in MDEC, when we are tasked to develop the digital economy of Malaysia, we are looking at how do we form meaningful partnerships with various technology partners all around the world, with companies like Huawei, for example, and using that expertise and global outlook that you have to bring in and mentor and enrich our startup community and help to bring them to greater heights. So, one of the things that we look at in MDEC of one of the three strategic pillars. So first one is we are interested to develop digitally skilled Malaysians. We want to bring in digital investments. And of course, the third thing, which is where I come in, is digitally powered businesses. So within that strategic pillar, what we look at is how do we support across the whole spectrum, from startups, scale-ups to large companies, and we develop them and bring them to a global stage. And we believe that through partnerships like what we're doing with Huawei Spark, it was able to bring them to that level with your knowledge and with your technology platforms that you have. And one of the key things that attracted us was the ability to be able to assist our companies through this program to be able to go to market in various countries, primarily China. Why China is because we've seen how the country has leapfrogged in terms of technology adoption, right? And today, rightfully, I think China is considered one of the leaders in the technology sector. So we believe there's a lot of things that our companies and our ecosystem can learn from each other. And we want to use this opportunity to mentor and support our companies to be at the global stage. Back to you, Leo.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan. So if you can move on to the next slide. Now, just to follow up what Ryan has said, I think introducing or leveraging what Huawei has to offer from tech perspective, given our technological leadership, is very key. So when we look at the startups to be admitted into the program, we consider two things. One is about what they do. A second is how we can help them. And I think it's important to offer something that is very intrinsic, very close to what we do as a company. So those 5 key technology areas, being AI, IoT, 5G, and so on, is the full blown of Huawei technology stack with a very in-depth, innovative leadership. Also to pack that with our market presence and traction, given our large global enterprise clients, that give you the sales and marketing support. So we look at those 5 key verticals, being e-commerce, fintech. Now, of course, every startup is different, and we are welcoming startups of all sizes, big or small, early or late. But in order to support them differently, given they're at very different stage, we have 2 tiers. The incubator tier, which focuses more on the early stage, where we provide 1 to 2 years support to support the growth of those startups organically. But once they are at already a certain size, like post-Series A, then we try to achieve certain business outcomes for them. So that could be acquiring a new customer, it could be going into a new market, or launching a new product features. If you move on to the next slide. Sorry, if you can move on to the next slide, please. Right. So exactly how we can support the startups. To start with, we look at the incubator tier. So financially, we will provide up to 125,000 US of cloud credits. That packed with all the technology support in terms of consultancy, operational support. Obviously, we're going to give all the training and resources for the startups to learn and practice. Once the startup is in the accelerator tier, so that open up 3 additional support, which is go-to-market, mentoring, networking, and Spark 5, which I think Michael and Dr. Eng has mentioned more or less. So let me take you into that with a bit more detail. If you can move on to the next slide, please. So go-to-market support, which is mainly about market exposure, branding awareness. Huawei as an organization, obviously we're pretty global, and we organize about 120 plus global events. One of the very top events is what we call Huawei Connect. So that's an annual event which happens once a year in Shanghai. So we will bring our portfolios companies into Shanghai for a showcase as well as a connection with the industry leaders and customers and peers in their own industry. We also hosted a number of regional events like this, the Spark Malaysia. That for people to get regional exposure, we get a pretty good audience in terms of media and venture capital firms as well. So that will plug into your market exposure. Once the COVID situation improved, we are looking at to run a monthly networking event. So this is more of your social networking platform to get connected with your target audience. Go China is going to be a key initiative for this program. So let me just give you a bit more detail of the Go China strategy. So if you can please move on to the next slide. So there's a couple of things I mentioned already, like bringing to Shanghai for Huawei Connect, but also to bring into Huawei in terms how we operate as a company in our HQ. How do we conduct our research and development centers? How do we build this as a huge supply chain where we're providing hardware to more than 175 countries? I think that's very important. But you can also learn from the DNA of Huawei being, a relatively young company, established in 1987. So what can you learn from Huawei? I think that's a lot of sharing we can share with you. Obviously, we have a pretty big arm of consumer business. So being our HMS, Huawei Mobile System ecosystem, give you that in-depth and width of 600 million of mobile users of Huawei. We also want to introduce you to our China clients. In a way, you're likely competitors in China, so you can learn from each other. So that is a bit of more detail of our Go China strategy. Next slide, please. Well, let's face this, right? So 70% of startup will fail. Like it or not, that's just a cold hard fact. However, if you look at some of the research, for example, from Forbes, a mentor startup will grow 7 times faster, or they will survive 7 times longer than the others, and they raise 3.5 times more money. That's why we set up this steering committee or advisory board that made of different kind of stakeholders. Our own subject matter experts from technology, from marketing, from legal will support the startups. We also have industry leaders, our senior execs from both Huawei, MDEC, and Telecom Malaysia. We have your peers from startup community founders, and we fortunately to have a few today, give their view on this, and venture capital firms and government support. So that is a pretty solid, committee that's really going to give you that coaching and mentoring support. And to materialize that, we will run 2 roadshow to showcase the portfolio companies of Huawei Spark. So you get your voice out, you got your thought leadership out to the market. Next slide, please. Right. Now, SparkFire, again, I think this has been echoed by Dr. Ng previously. What it means for a startup, what is the number one thing for a startup? Obviously, is your growth. And for you to grow, it's about access to the market, access to the client, and access to resources within the client company to help you to position yourself better and to grow. So in a lot of large corporations that I've worked with or I've been worked for, I see a number one issue being the governance and a bureaucratic process. To onboard any startup into these companies, it will take generally 6 months, if not longer. I mean, that's a pretty big hurdle for a lot of startups. And the startups, at the same time, is constrained by or being put behind the barriers of not having this visibility. So joining Spark, and we're leveraging our large enterprise client portfolio, will enable you to do 3 things. So you sell to, sell with, and sell through, meaning you can sell to Huawei. We work with thousands of partners or companies of all size. And so I think we certainly hope you are one of them. Secondly, sell with. It essentially means we're going to open our enterprise client portfolio. We're looking for the problem statement within our own portfolio and our client portfolio, as well as your solution. If we find a match, we will facilitate that. Sell-through will put you on our cloud marketplace, which today we have more than 3 million and enterprise users are on our cloud marketplace, and 600 million consumer mobile users on our HMS platform. So that's the sell-through. Just give you a little bit more credibility in terms of how this is going to be executed. If you can move on to the next slide, which I will talk about the business enabling program or the acquisition program. It's a 6 months long enabling program. We start with onboarding your solution into our ecosystem. We'll help you to fine tune how you pitch to enterprise, and the language they use is very different from what you talk about as a startup. Once we finish that, you're getting yourself ready. We'll move on to the stage 2 of prospecting. So this is like creating a client profile, look at what you're looking for, building leads and qualified leads. And the goal is always land something, right? So land and expand. Landing meaning landing an initial meeting and followed by a demo. Expand that into a paid proof of concept stage. And then once you finish the POC, that's where I think you're half of the battle. So it's about also convincing more than the IT stakeholders, going to the CFO, CMO. So that's the expansion mode. So Huawei Spark program is along that journey with you, being coaching and mentor and door openers to facilitate this whole journey. If you move on to the next slide, please. Now, I like to say everything we build is nothing unless you come forward. So I want to give this call for action. Today we are launching Huawei Malaysia tech competition. So this is the URL. This is the URL. I would love to encourage all of you to participate and just give you some the kicker or the incentive for participating in this competition. If you move on to the next slide, I'll quickly flash some of the key highlights. So we'll look at top 10 companies and incentivize them differently. Top 1 will be given obviously all the support that I mentioned earlier. I guess in a way that this one to give you a bit of more detail. And this is offered not just with Huawei, but also with TM, with MDEC. If you move on to the next, again, quickly flash. So you will see the incentive is slightly different. If you move on to the next slide. So in terms of the financial support is slightly different, but everything else is almost identical as the first tier. And if you're in the number post position, the next slide, you'll get certain support. So I'm gonna go through these in detail, which all made available on our website. So feel free to go on our website and find out more. I do want to talk about the one last thing. So if you can move on to my next slide. Okay, so why Huawei Spark and what makes it unique? We actually launched this in August. So today we have more than 500 startups applied globally from 75 countries. And if I look at the startup ecosystem, there are a few key factors that are very important for the survival of startups, which are called the survival factors. The first one being your investment. Any company who will come, to start up something, you have to have it bootstrapped. So that funding is important. And then later on, you look at your platform support, basically your connection, education support. How do you do tech, how you do product design, and the last but not least is your go-to-market and tech support. So when I look at Huawei, the number one thing we built is the tech. I think that's what we market ourselves as deep tech accelerator. If we to say we're going to give you something, like we'll give you the credits on our cloud, or people give you money, for me that's all sugar. If we take too much sugar and make you high, that does not make you strong. I think what we're trying to do is to build a muscle for you to be very strong, to be very competitive. So that's really come down to the core. The technology leadership, the sales and marketing exercise, the willingness to
Sorry, I think we lost him for a while. So basically like what Leo mentioned, this is not just about giving cloud credits, throwing money at startups, but it's also about coming in with the right assistance and the right support and mentoring to be able to ensure that your company is able to be built up and to be able to grow and scale at a global stage. So with that, I think that is the gist of the whole program. More details will be available on our website. You're free to register, log on to our website, and participate in the program. And I'll pass it back to Constance.
Thank you, Ryan and Leo, for the informative sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have arrived at the pinnacle of our ceremony, the launch of Huawei Spark Malaysia. Once again, we would like to invite Dato' Ng Wan Peng, the COO of MDEC, and Michael, the CEO of Huawei Malaysia, to join us for a simple ceremony. Dato' Wan Peng and Michael, you may place your hands on the panel. At the count of 3, 2, 1.
The tech landscape is shifting dramatically with the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, IR4, and Malaysia continues to reinforce its role as a digital trailblazer in Southeast Asia. In these exponential times, the need for essential human skills like creativity, innovation, complex problem solving, and collaborative teamwork cannot be understated. We need to build an ecosystem to harness these human synergies, where often companies take center stage. This is why we have launched Huawei Spark to incubate our high-potential tech community and accelerate innovation beyond imagination. Huawei Spark is a hybrid accelerator program for deep tech companies. We look for seed, to late-stage companies with technology at its core and those with focus on IR4 innovations such as AI, IoT, 5G, edge computing, and SaaS to join us in this unparalleled growth platform. Huawei Spark is proud to collaborate with the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation's GAIN program, which catalyzes the expansion of Malaysian tech companies to be global champions. The success of the GAIN program lies in its 4 tried and proven growth interventions: Gateway, Amplify, Invest, and Nurture. Rest assured, the synergy between Huawei Spark Malaysia, GAIN by MDEC, and Cloud Alpha Edge can accelerate organizations of all shapes and sizes to attain endless potential to scale and achieve global growth with infinite visibility.
Thank you, Dr. Wan Peng and Michael, for joining us today. Next, we're glad to have experts from the industry to join us for the panel discussion on tech ecosystem in Malaysia. We'll be taking questions from the online audience for this session. Please just leave your questions in the comment. Without further ado, let us invite the moderator and panelists to come on the stage. Give us just a few seconds to bring them in. Let me introduce our experts. We have Mr. Ryan Chan from MDEC as the moderator. Ryan, over to you.
Thanks, Consin. So joining me and Leo on the panel today, we've got Rajab, Nicholas, and new. So perhaps, we've already introduced myself and Leo already. So if I can have our panelists to introduce themselves, starting with Rajab.
Hi, I'm Rajab Sulaiman. I'm from TM1. So basically, we serve the enterprise and government sector on the business solution.
Hi, I'm Nicholas. I'm the CTO of Soft Space. So we are the homegrown Malaysia companies that serve the payment industry. So we are fintech companies that provide payment solution across the region.
Hi, I'm Neil. I'm from Hexa IoT Sdn Bhd. We are a truly Malaysian IoT company that we homebrew our IoT software and solutions.
Right, thank you. So all of you, and including Leo from Singapore, so all of you are in the digital innovation space, either you're a technology company itself or you are adopting technology into your business like Hexa, for example, right? So, what are the innovations or trends that you've observed in the areas of digital that you observe in Southeast Asia and Malaysia in particular? Maybe I can start with Leo, to give us a bigger picture and overview.
Okay, so when I look at the digital adoption, country by country is slightly different. I think the biggest theme right now is rolling out of 5G and AI. And I think AI is getting more interesting because I see different companies are trying to adopt it differently. And they're leveraging, I think there's a universal layer of AI, whether you're using open source protocols or you're trying to develop their own. So I think the key for the success, in the space of AI for a lot of companies is your know-how within the industry. So a lot of people who create AI from outside does not necessarily know the nuts and bolts of the industry. I think that's a shortcoming. So I think I see there's more and more people start looking to a specific vertical AI adoption.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rajab, what are the trends that you notice in your role as TM?
So the question about the trend, right? Yeah. I see two perspectives. From the enterprise perspective today, in terms of the trend, we know today the enterprises are moving to the cloud. When moving to the cloud, it's not just public cloud. The enterprises normally will do private and public cloud. So it's a lot of them today are looking into the strategy of hybrid cloud. So this is because the enterprises are looking at private cloud because the low latency, because of the security is much simpler to protect and govern. And they need the public cloud to do all the cloud services to innovate, to take all the opportunity there in the public cloud to innovate. That is the trend that you see in the enterprises. During this COVID time, there are also a lot of demand that the enterprises looking into backup as a service. It's not just backup as a service, it's also the long-term retention of the data. Because this is the time that every organization need to look at how they back up the data, because there's so much threat in the cybersecurity space. And there's also DR as a service. That's also a trend today where enterprises are looking into, because a disaster can happen anytime during this challenging time. Mm-hmm. So that's another one in the enterprise perspective. We look at the trend in the innovation side of the thing for the companies, small company, IT companies. For the one that we see today, mostly in the manufacturing industry, there are lots of IoT and the cloud opportunity to put together as a solution to make it more efficient. There's also, you see today, agriculture, like what Hexa are doing today. The IoT and cloud help a lot in the innovation. That's where TM see the trend today.
Right. Thanks, Rajab. What about you, Nicholas, in your area?
Yeah, I think from the payment industry, it is very obvious that it is not a trend now, but it has been there for quite some time, right? So, but because of the global pandemics and the COVID-19 situations that the world is facing today, so digital payments actually pick up speed in a superb kind of accelerations. So I guess from an innovation point of view, it more towards like what Leo and Rajab have mentioned. So it more towards the surrounding ecosystem or the surrounding technologies. So in payment, we always say that it needs to be secure and we never go on clouds. But today, it looks like it is possible. There are certain technologies and innovation has enabled that. But at the end of the day, it is still very much looking into what's going to support this ecosystem to be able to run digital payment services securely. So areas, if you talk about trends and innovations that is upcoming, so areas such as how to protect the data, how to protect the flow of the monies to make sure the transaction end-to-end is secure. So that would be one of the focus and one of the areas that we will see a lot, especially today's people actually have a change of their behavior in terms of purchasing. So cash is considered unhygiene and very dangerous nowadays. So everybody move on to digital payment. So there will be a surge of all these things happening, and the surroundings, technologies and the supporting functions and features to support that, that would be mainly where the trends and innovations going to come in.
Thanks, Nicholas. And last but not least, Neo, yourself, you're a bit different. You're not really a technology, you didn't start out as a technology provider. So, in your, from your perspective, what were the trends that you saw and what drove you to pivoting in a sense?
All right. So, from my personal point of view, I see that those in sales area, they are trying to move on to e-commerce now. Yeah, so that easier to outreach to more people. Yeah, so because like from what we can see now, we can almost buy anything, yeah, online. And for service line, what we can see is a lot of people also trying to involve in 3D printing, yeah, so that we don't limit to those very high MOU. Yeah, we can start to do a lot of POCs in a faster manners. And also in manufacturing, agriculture, aquaculture, we can see is that a lot of people are trying to implement IoT. Yeah. With IoT, we need to collect data, of course, related to cloud. Yeah. So a lot of people talking about cloud, especially Raja from TM1 also mentioned cloud is actually very important now. Yeah. So there's a very good trend. And by collecting all this data put on cloud, it's good that actually, even though I'm having recording here now, yeah, I can also monitor what's happening in my own plants, manufacturing, and then to agriculture environments. Yeah, we can give very good decisions, even we are not at the place. Okay, so there are some points that we might not be able to do so, as now I have to silence my phone, all these things, I'm not able to make decisions. So the next trend, we can foresee that AI, yeah, definitely will be the upcoming trend. Yeah, because AI can do a lot of decisions for us, can reduce a lot of these kind of like human errors. Yeah, so AI definitely the next one.
Yeah. All right, thanks. So the next one I had was directing more towards SoftSpace and Hexa. For my next question would be, we've talked about all these disruptions and trends. How has your business leveraged and capitalized on these disruptions to expand your business in Malaysia and perhaps even outside of Malaysia? You want to start first, Nicholas?
Yeah, sure. I think in Malaysia, we are pretty much understand the culture locally here. After all, we are born in Malaysia, right? So the disruptions and the technologies and innovations that emerge nowadays and coupled with the COVID situation from our verticals of payments is actually asked for a rapid deployments to the markets to allow more digital payment acceptance. So that's at the merchant levels or wherever that places that cash going to be replaced. So in that sense, when we move out and expand to a different country, so we see that the opportunity is there, but we are looking for like tools and markets that comes together to be able to support the rapid deployments. So understanding of the other country cultures, especially regulation, is very, very important. So more often than not, when we are not there, so it's very difficult to study the people's there, their behavior, how the regulators think things about digital payments and what really happens on the field. And more importantly, when you deploy a system, this is what we call a on-premise system deployment that require for most of the country. You have to go there and source for a data center, and you have to register, put up your servers, your infrastructures, your payment system, and what's not. So it takes a very long time and it's very costly. So in that sense, how technology has helped us to do this properly and quickly is that through some of the cloud enablement, so we can see that we can deploy our system very fast. And when we talk about a new markets, right, so it's not like you go all in and trying to just, deploy a system and then deploy everything there and hope for it to work. So there needs to be a very short times deployment to test out some things and then get the feedback from the markets and improve over time. So the upfront investment and all those things is also needs to be taken into the consideration as well. So how we see that we take advantage of this disruption is really to make use of the various technologies to go into the expansion of other countries quickly and understand what's happening down the earth there, and then try to improve over time and expand from there.
Right. So being on cloud allows you to do that very quickly and rapidly.
Yeah, one of it.
Okay. Yourself, Neil?
Yeah. All right. So for me, right, personally think that this disruption actually is an opportunities. Yeah, for both our side and also our clients. Yeah, because without this pandemic, actually we are still in comfort mode. Yeah. Whenever we're in comfort zone, right, we don't really think that much, or we actually don't have those kind of times to explore to new opportunities around. Okay, so by having this kind of disruption, for me actually is a good time, so that we can spend more time with our clients, we explore all this technology with them, and then what are the pain points, what are their possible potential innovations. Yeah, so this is a good time for us also to spend time with them, to share with them what kind of technology available, how IoT actually can help them. Yeah, and also there's a time for us to POC with them. Yeah, to prove with them how IoT, how technology, how this kind of digital innovation actually can help the business to improve, to go to the next level, to make the business more competitive. Yeah.
Thanks, Neil. So, for enterprises like TM and Huawei, right? So we've spoken a lot about innovation, and we're all innovating in one way or other. But from your perspective, serving customers of all sizes, from startups all the way to enterprises, what are the kind of challenges that you see businesses go through when they are on this innovation journey? Richard?
Yeah, so the challenges of innovation, right? From the perspective of enterprises, what we see today, before you can innovate, you want to move to the cloud. That's where the most innovation that you can leverage on. But to move to the cloud that we see today, so it's not so much of innovation today, it's the thinking or the consideration to move to the cloud. So many enterprises today, they have the thought of, what do I do with the legacy infrastructure? There's so much of cost that I have invested on. And there's also the thinking of, how do I move to the cloud? How do I migrate to the cloud? Will it cost me more? I have to spend more? There's also the fear or the constraint of their own governance or compliance, that they cannot do this because of data residency. So these are the things that is a dilemma of the enterprises. When it comes to innovation, what we see today, TM1 is also doing a lot of services that we call smart services, a smart innovation that we offer to the market. When it comes to this, when you want to innovate, the challenge would be, will the market take this innovation? It's not the innovation itself, it's the market acceptance of the solution or the market acceptance of the product that we produce. And I think that would be similar to any IT companies or any solution provider out there that trying to innovate, but could end up that they don't have the market to sell to. So that's, I believe, the challenge. It's not so much of the innovation itself, because we have so many platforms, we have the infrastructure, we have the government, we have MDEC, we have SME Corp to provide the fund. The innovation, I think, today is not the issue. The issue is the acceptance and the people that are going to use the technology.
Thanks, Rajab. So what about yourself, Leo? So we've heard a lot about cloud adoption. Perhaps to maybe pivot slightly, from a challenge perspective, do you see enterprises facing innovation challenge when it comes to deep tech, things like AI and machine learning?
Very much so. So I think I do reckon, first acknowledge what Roger just said. The innovation itself is not a problem. It's the acceptance of risk, acceptance of change. So when you look at large enterprise, we can take from global enterprises or domestic enterprise, every one of them have a legacy business if they are in the legacy industry, and the fear of not to do something is what's really driving them to look at innovation and digital transformation, which was the buzzword. But the fear of screw this up is also stopping them doing it. So I think for a long time people were like, okay, should we do or should we not do? So that really hindering the innovation. And innovation is not a word, it's not even a singular event. It's an event that can happen from discovery to engineering to implementation and for the improvement. So I think to start with, the company need to think about the way they run business is never going to be the same. I mean, I think there's enough articles about, software eats the world or cloud eats the world. So without going into that, so for major companies, moving to a cloud or make themselves more digital is inevitable. So the question is how, right? And I can see there's a trend of a lot of enterprises are now having an innovation team. So they start looking at innovation. And this team is a door opener for a lot of startups. But I also think it has to be accelerated. So a lot of startups end up doing like one POC and then stop right there. And it doesn't actually get into a large adoption. And there's a lot of fear because the startup size and stability. But I think that's a mentality is rapidly changing. Huawei in the space of technology, we see our three key technology, which is 5G, AI, and cloud, is what we see as a key enabler to all this digital transformation. And I think our job is to be that enabler. So people like startups who can really benefit from our infrastructure, from the foundation we built.
Thanks, Leo. So just to follow on one point that you mentioned, the fear of messing up innovation, right? So perhaps maybe you can share a little bit with the audience, in terms of your journey, because you didn't start out as a technology company, right? Yeah. Hexa Food is pretty much, correct me if I'm wrong, a traditional business, and you adopted technology, right? So how do you manage that risk in terms of de-risking innovations and trying to minimize the risk of messing up your existing processes and so on?
Actually, it's suffering. The process isn't easy. All right. So basically, we spend a lot of time. We spend long time. We always ask ourselves, what's our own problems? Yeah, we have to find out our own pain point, our own stages, and then also to ask ourselves, is that necessary for us to transform? Because we don't really innovate for the sake of transforming, but we really need something that really can improve our business, to make ourselves more competitive. Okay, so by doing this, actually the process is not easy, because for our Malaysia infrastructures in technology, actually is still got some improvement space. Yeah, because for ourselves, like we are startup, we are not startup for Hexa Food. Okay, Hexa Food basically SMEs. So as I mentioned, we are not starting from technology. We are totally new in technology. Before we starting Hexa IoT, basically we sourcing for vendors. Okay, sourcing for partners to assist us. Okay, we try to understand what kind of technology can actually help us, right? But as a result, we found that there are very good technology around, but those technology doesn't really suitable for our setup, our applications. So we have to make decisions like, how can we innovate? We know we need, because we're expanding our business. We need to use digital way to monitor, to operate our business. But how to overcome this is, we found that we really need to educate ourselves, our members in our company. Yeah, all this takes time. Yeah, so to make sure everyone know in their positions what kind of technology actually can assist them. Then from there, we try to discover and also to share and educate to our vendors. Okay, to try to find out which one can match and close the gap. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. So I think you touch on something that is something that we've mentioned multiple times, right? So it's about building an ecosystem. right? And building partnerships. And I think that's something that is really big in all verticals today. So from your experience, from all the panelists' experience, right? How have you been able to build meaningful ecosystems and technology partnerships? And how did this help you to basically upscale your technology stack and maybe even using this to expand your business? You want to go first, Nicholas?
Yeah, sure. I think from SoftSpace point of view, the first thing that we look at building an ecosystem with partners is synergy. So what we provide is really a payment ecosystem. And what the user of our system or the ecosystem looking at is really how easy they can get on to perform the digital payment acceptance and how costly it's going to be, how fast it's going to be, the setup and all this thing. But it doesn't end there. So basically in any business, there are a lot of business out there. The way how the business is conducted is different. So whether they are a small store, whether they are a chain store, or they basically sell things online, e-commerce and all this thing. So everyone would have a different needs and a slight different challenges on themselves. So when we look at building an ecosystem with partners, so we look at all these areas where how can our partners together with our core system bring about the experience and bring about the convenience to the merchants. So that's the number one things that we look at. And the other thing is, of course, if we are talking about different country, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of localized regulatory that you need to understand, the lingual itself especially. So partners that are able to understand that in different countries would be also very important. So that will be the two main things that we will be looking at in terms of partnering and building an ecosystem. So again, I think nowadays you can't have one solution fit all kind of situation here. So if you have a solution, so it doesn't mean that this solution will fit everyone and you just go out there and monopolize it. So you have to work with partners that is good and their strength is at the other areas and couples together to bring the value to the customer. So that's how we look at it.
Thanks. So Rajab, in TM, is that a similar experience that you have?
Yeah.
Considering the partnership with Huawei and so on.
Correct. The question of not working together with the other is not the question. It has to be working together with partners and the other solution providers. You take, for example, like a manufacturing type of solution. You're going to need a connectivity. You're going to need the cloud for all your innovation. You're going to need the IoT. You're going to need the cyber security because you want to put that on the cloud. So any of these components, or the other component other than that as well, any of these component is not giving you the optimal design or optimal cost, the whole thing won't work. And then you're not going to have any adoption to the solution that you're going to offer. As well, like what mentioned just now, everyone could have, or every different industry or the same industry, within the same industry, it could be the solution need to be tweaked a bit. Certain part of the thing require different partner rather than the same partner because the environment is different. So we have to work together with all partners or all kind of solution to put together to the end market, to the end user.
Thanks. Leo, what is your experience in terms of partnerships? Okay, so it's offline now. Sorry, we'll take a couple of questions from the audience. I've got a question here for New of Hexa. Of all the technology providers that's out there, what made you to decide to partner with Huawei on your solution? And if you could elaborate a little bit on your partnership.
Okay, sure. This I'll start with a story. Okay, basically it's the timing. As I mentioned earlier, we are in the middle of expanding about 2 years back. Yeah, we know that we need technology to assist us. So we try to visit all these exhibitions, seminars. Yeah, try to find partners that can support us. But unfortunately, we always get no for the support. But we never give up. So 3 of us, we got 3 founders, basically for Hexa IoT. We keep on visiting all these things. There's one day we visited to Huawei exhibition. There's a launching of Huawei Cloud and Model Arts AI in Malaysia. Yeah. So we visited them. Again, we share with them our crazy story again, as what we used to share with all other vendors, to tell them actually we are facing problem with, in our manufacturing plants, the production. We need to use IoT to collect data from the process, to automate the process data collections. Also, we have to have some very good cloud solutions then to store all this data for us to access easily. Then also to have AI technology to assist us to process. And it's best also we can have AI to automate certain process of the productions. Yeah. So then after our friends in Huawei, they heard about these crazy ideas, the story, they said, hey, we got one new technology now, the new products called Huawei Cloud Model Arts. So why not you give a try? Yeah. So you see, yeah, why not? Because we already get so many no. And we know that we have to achieve this. We have to do something, start from something. And now someone actually telling us, yes, there's something that actually can help us. So it's good that we try, you see. So that's how we start our very first project, yeah, and our first product with Huawei, the AI product sorting machine. Yeah. So that's how we come with the video. Okay, so the partnership with Huawei actually is fantastic. Because Huawei not only say yes to us, yeah, they share with us their technology platform to let us experience. At the same time, give us some guidance, offer training to our team, yeah, to upgrade our skill set for our team. At the same time, they also certify us, yeah, get us exposed to more technology trend in the markets. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. So you were the one that was persistent and pursuing,
we have to.
rather than the other way around. Thanks for the sharing. So one more question from the audience. This is a tricky one. So what trends emerged this year that wasn't in your radar, previously? and are you able to elaborate on this trend?
Okay. Me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, we started IoT. Yeah, we integrated IoT technology to our machine process environment. We collect data. We can monitor even from here. Okay, that's very cool. But we still think of lacking of something. Few months back, MCO, right? We sit at home. Yeah, me and my co-founder, basically, we are not the kind of person that can sit quietly. Right? So keep calling each other every day. Hey, how can we improve? Now, seems okay, but how about a few years down the road? Yeah, we need to stay more competitive. So we think, yes, actually, definitely there will be AI. Yeah, AI will be the one. So maybe I can give some example. It's like, I got all the data, okay, collected. I need to comply with the international standards. We got a lot of SOP to follow. Yeah. So whenever my QC, they issue one book order, all my operators, they need to manually go and search from my database. What kind of SOP that can match with this? Trust me, you won't like it. Because every day of process, we need at least 60 forms. All the SOP, different stations got different SOP. It's not easy to memorize, so we have to manually go and search in our database. Okay, this would be the nightmare. Yes, we do digitalize, we upload to our database, so we can easier than finding from our folders, but there's still some hassle. So then we think of some plan, yeah, we are working on it now. How cool is it if today I tell the system, I tell AI, yeah, I tell the system, hey, I'm working on chili powder for 500 tons now. Then the system will tell me automatically, hey, Neil, now with this work order, where can you get your raw material? Yeah, this raw material, how many percent is good, how many percent not good, be careful, and then when to make your order. Okay, so your operator have to start from process 1, this process, this is the SOP. Automatically tell me. Then, okay, with this SOP, which machine actually underutilized? We can work on that. You see, with AI, actually, we can have a lot of decisions and a lot of informations will pop to us automatically. So this one can solve all this nightmare. Cool, right? So definitely the next one will be AI.
All right. Yeah. I can sense the excitement coming out of.
Yeah.
Rajab, you wanna share?
What we see this year, or the trend that we did not anticipate from last year, when the MCO happened somewhere in March, right?
Yeah.
There was so much of issue for enterprises or government sectors that having an issue of the resources that they have not scalable, because either they are not yet in cloud, or they're subscribing to cloud with the limited resources. So they're getting the help from TM1. So we were also doing this like ad hoc and urgent kind of reaction and responding, because when we want to respond to that, we have to respond within like 2 days, within 1 week, because we have to do this. Otherwise, all these government services or application going to crash down or not going to be able to serve the end user to the people. So this what happened this year when
and you have 30 million people complaining.
Yeah. So correct.
Right. Nice. What about yourself, Nicholas?
Yeah, if I may, I think the one trend that is not in our radar or in I believe everyone here radar is COVID-19. Okay, joke aside, I think COVID-19 changes a lot of things. For the longest time, for a persons to change their habitual or behavioral kind of things is very difficult, because it requires some form of cognitive mindset change to do that. So in payment, if I've been using cash all the while, I will continue to use cash unless you give me some rewards, and that's temporary, right? So what COVID-19 does to us is that you have no choice, but you have to go on digital payment. So that's one of the example. And from our organization point of view, because of that, there is a lot of solutions being asked for to support this digital payment, because out there are still a lot of merchants and companies that has not on this bandwagon yet. And during that time, during the MCO, we were all at home apart. So we thought that we are fintechs and we are very well connected, very, very in tune with technologies. But one of the basic problems that surprised us is that we have ideas. We look at what happens daily out there, where how people are going to sell things or how people are going to buy things, and we have ideas, and it's very hard to communicate. So I'm not joking when I say that the very hard to communicate is not the parts that how do we talk to each other. It's missing a board that we can write and draw and collaborate on. So these are the things that really catch us by surprise, and therefore, I guess moving forwards, we really have to think about, while we were away working remotely, how do we actually optimize the way that we thought we work and we collaborate, not just remotely within different countries or partners, but even within the organization itself.
Yeah, so collaboration. And so that kind of reminds me of the joke that we've all been sharing, right? Who was most responsible for digital transformation within your organization in 2020? The CEO, CTO, or COVID-19? Right. So yeah, so Leo, from where you're sitting, you're looking at whole of Southeast Asia and APAC. What are the trends that you've observed this year and perhaps you did not anticipate?
To be honest, the audience, like Nicholas, have definitely touched everything. The biggest X factor this year is COVID-19. So I don't want to answer from what really that I anticipated, because I'm going to repeat the same thing. However, I think there's one thing that we are not anticipating, but kind of see is coming, which is the speed of change or the speed of uncertainty. So if you look at the way that human transit and advance, right? So from the agriculture age to industry age and to information age and now digital age. One thing that's very common is from agriculture to industry that take almost 1,000 years. Industry to information age about 200 years. Information to digital age, which like hyper-connected world, that's roughly about 25 years. Right? So from the late 1990s, right? So the commonality here is it will always change, and it's going to get accelerated. So one thing that nobody anticipates is the speed of change this year. So I think we all anticipate that digitalization is going to happen, but nobody anticipates it's going to happen so fast. Like it or not, it was because of COVID. And I think this also shows the causality of unexpected event is the world is going to move to a world that is going to be more efficient. And today we know that means digital, means hyper-connected. So I think the question really is, how do we respond to this, knowing that this is going to happen? It's probably going to happen again, in the next few years. Maybe it's another virus, maybe something else. I think it's the anticipation, the mindset, And what do you do, like enterprise startups of anyone, like what do you do to face this new world with this uncertainty of speed? So I think that's a question that I'll leave you to everybody to think about. Again, being Huawei, I'm relatively new to Huawei, so I've been working for foreign MNCs for more than 15 years. It's very, very pleasant to see the world now in two different perspectives, being a Chinese company versus a non-Chinese company. I felt it kind of polarizing the tech world, but our mission is not to bring a separate world, because technology has no border. I think our CEO Michael mentioned it. We flourish together by collaboration. So I think how can we bring the tech world together, and why connectivity, why AI, why cloud? I think that really is our mission. So that's for me.
Thanks, Leo. Certainly very heavy thoughts to carry us through the day. I have one final question that just came in through an online participant, Pathma. So she's saying that looking at the program, it looks like it's very much startup driven. So she's asking if there is if this is applicable to companies that are a little bit more established at an SME level, and what kind of support that's available to them in this program. I suppose this question, if I can get Leo, if you can you can address this.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So she's saying that from what she sees, this is geared towards more startups, and whether or not it's applicable to SME kind of companies, a bit more established, and what kind of support would be available for this company.
Okay. Well, we do not distinguish as SME versus startup. I mean, in the loosened definition, anybody before IPO is a startup, that probably including Huawei. But put the joke aside, I think we offer the similar support. Depends on the stage and the qualification of your company, right? So those 5 key pillars in terms of technology, AI, 5G, SaaS, and edge computing, that's something we look at strongly. We also think if you're a subject matter SME business, if you're B2B, then you're probably going to get more benefit because our large enterprise clients, and it's really about growth. But I mean, the technology itself is available whether you're serving consumers or business or anything. So I think you are definitely welcome to apply.
So definitely it's applicable. So again, just to reiterate what Leo mentioned, it's applicable to companies across the whole spectrum, from startups to scale-ups to SMEs, and depending on the tier of qualifications, where additional support comes in would be the go-to-market and the business advisory and mentoring support that's available. All right. So with that, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Leo, for dialing in. It's been a very engaging panel, and I will hand this back to our host, Consin.
Thank you, our industry experts, for the insightful sharing. Also, thank you to the online audience who stay with us. Please visit our website if you would like to find out more about Huawei Spark Malaysia. We would like to invite all tech companies to participate in Huawei Spark Malaysia. Good luck in your journey. Ladies and gentlemen, our session has come to the end. Once again, thank you for joining us online. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.
The tech landscape is shifting dramatically with the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, IR4, and Malaysia continues to reinforce its role as a digital trailblazer in Southeast Asia. In these exponential times, the need for essential human skills like creativity, innovation, complex problem solving, and collaborative teamwork cannot be understated. We need to build an ecosystem to harness these human synergies, where often companies take center stage. This is why we have launched Huawei Spark to incubate our high-potential tech community and accelerate innovation beyond imagination. Huawei Spark is a hybrid accelerator program for deep tech companies. We look for seed, to late-stage companies with technology at its core and those with focus on IR4 innovations such as AI, IoT, 5G, edge computing, and SaaS to join us in this unparalleled growth platform. Huawei Spark is proud to collaborate with the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation's GAIN program, which catalyzes the expansion of Malaysian tech companies to be global champions. The success of the GAIN program lies in its 4 tried and proven growth interventions: Gateway, Amplify, Invest, and Nurture. Rest assured, the synergy between Huawei Spark Malaysia, GAIN by MDEC, and Cloud Alpha Edge can accelerate organizations of all shapes and sizes to attain endless potential to scale and achieve global growth with infinite visibility. The tech landscape is shifting dramatically with the advent of the 4th Industrial Revolution, IR4, and Malaysia continues to reinforce its role as a digital trailblazer in Southeast Asia. In these exponential times, the need for essential human skills like creativity, innovation, complex problem solving, and collaborative teamwork cannot be understated. We need to build an ecosystem to harness these human synergies where often companies take center stage. This is why we have launched Huawei Spark to incubate our high-potential tech community and accelerate innovation beyond imagination. Huawei Spark is a hybrid accelerator program for deep tech companies. We look for seed to late-stage companies with technology at its core and those with focus on IR4 innovations such as AI, IoT, 5G, edge computing, and SaaS to join us in this unparalleled growth platform. Huawei Spark is proud to collaborate with the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation's GAIN program, which catalyzes the expansion of Malaysian tech companies to be global champions. The success of the GAIN program lies in its 4 tried and proven growth interventions: Gateway, Amplify, Invest, and Nurture. Rest assured, the synergy between Huawei Spark Malaysia, GAIN by MDEC, and Cloud Alpha Edge can accelerate organizations of all shapes and sizes to attain endless potential to scale and achieve global growth with infinite visibility. The tech landscape is shifting dramatically with the advent of the 4th Industrial Revolution, IR4, and Malaysia continues to reinforce its role as a digital trailblazer in Southeast Asia. In these exponential times, the need for essential human skills like creativity, innovation, complex problem solving, and collaborative teamwork cannot be understated. We need to build an ecosystem to harness these human synergies where often companies take center stage. This is why we have launched Huawei Spark to incubate our high-potential tech community and accelerate innovation beyond imagination. Huawei Spark is a hybrid accelerator program for deep tech companies. We look for seed to late-stage companies with technology at its core and those with focus on IR4 innovations such as AI, IoT, 5G, edge computing, and SaaS to join us in this unparalleled growth platform. Huawei Spark is proud to collaborate with the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation's GAIN program, which catalyzes the expansion of Malaysian tech companies to be global champions. The success of the GAIN program lies in its 4 tried and proven growth interventions: Gateway, Amplify, Invest, and Nurture. Rest assured, the synergy between Huawei Spark Malaysia, GAIN by MDEC, and Cloud Alpha Edge can accelerate organizations of all shapes and sizes to attain endless potential to scale and achieve global growth with infinite visibility. The tech landscape is shifting dramatically with the advent of the